Hello, everyone. My name is Kelly, and my partner's name is Carla, and we decided to do existential theory. Introduction about existential theory. Existential psychotherapy is an attitude toward human suffering and has no manual. It asks deep questions about the nature of the human being and the nature of anxiety, despair, grief, loneliness, isolation, and anomie. It also deals centrally with the questions of meaning, creativity, and love by Yalam and Jocelyn. The goals of existential therapy is to assist clients in exploring their own personal self and in hopes by addressing that the client can in turn live a more rich and meaningful and deeper life. Existential therapy is grounded on the assumption that oneself is free and are therefore ultimately responsible for the choices and actions made. In order to shape your life, you first need to accept responsibility of your choices that lead to its circumstances. Once that is understood, the belief of shaping one's life is easily obtained. So, in short, existential therapy is just being extremely self aware with yourself. Once you are, everything else will flow and come together. Um, Origins of existential theory. It originated between 1940 to 1950 among different areas of Europe. It did stem from World War II. There was a lot of despair after World War II, and a lot of people needed therapy after the war and during the war. And so this is where existential therapy originated. The key figures in existential psychotherapy, Soren Kierkegaard, sorry if I mess up the words, he had created creative anxiety, despair, fear, and dread, guilt, and nothingness. Friedrich Nietzsche was death, suicide, and will. Martin Heidegger, authentic being, caring, death, and guilt, individual responsibility, and isolation. Jean-Paul Sartre was meaningless, responsibility, and choice. And Martin Buber, interpersonal relationships, I, thou perspective in therapy, and self transcendence. So these men all contributed to the idea of existential psychotherapy. The key concepts, views of human nature, existential tradition seeks balance between the recognition of limits and dimensions of human existence versus the possibilities and opportunities of life. No relationship can eliminate existential isolation, but aloneness can be shared in such a way that love compensates for its pain. Humans are constantly recreating themselves. You're not going to be the same person that you once were when you were 20 versus when you're 50. You're constantly growing. The existential propositions. So there are 6 of them. The first one is capacity of self-awareness. So freedom, choice, and responsibility are the foundations of that. Proposition number 2 is freedom and responsibility. So people have the ability to shape their own destiny. Proposition number 3, striving for identity and relationship to others, seeking our own identity rather than the opinions or views of others. Proposition number 4, the search of meaning, needing a sense of significance and a purpose in life. Proposition number 5, anxiety as a condition of living. People will feel this when we are fully aware of our freedoms. That one I believe can be somewhat of a good thing just because you're fully aware of your surroundings, but that doesn't mean necessarily that you live in constant anxiety or fear. And proposition number 6, awareness of death and non-being. This one I thought was very interesting, as it's not that you're afraid of death, but you're rather just, you recognize that it's inevitable and it only makes you appreciate life even more. And I'm going to turn it over to this video clip of Carla, and she will explain the rest of the video.